Right now, you've got no idea whether AI is recommending you or your biggest competitor. And here's why. Your normal rank tracking report, the one that shows where you sit in Google, doesn't check the AI answers at all, so it can't tell you, right? So your buyer opens ChatGPT or Google AI Overviews, which is the AI answer that sits at the top of Google now, and they ask for the best company to go with. The AI gives them a short list of names, and you can't see whether you're on that list, unless you check yourself. So you can be ranking number one in Google and still be left out of the answer your buyer actually reads. So today, marketing leaders, I'm going to show you the 6 things to measure so you can finally see whether Google AI Overviews, ChatGPT, and Gemini are recommending you and where you're invisible right now. And the good news, you don't have to guess anymore. There's a real way to measure this now, the same way you already measure your Google rankings. 6 ways to measure your AI search visibility. And by AI search visibility, I just mean how often the AI engines name your brand when a buyer asks them for a recommendation. And just so this is in theory, I'm Mark McDowell. I run Primal as founder and CEO, and we've helped over 300 brands from McDonald's to Under Armour to Decathlon win in AI search and SEO. Measuring whether AI actually recommends a brand is something we do every single day. And so number 6 is the one that ties all of this to revenue. So make sure you stay to the end for that one. And so number 1, you start by measuring your share of search. And share of search just means this. Out of all the searches happening in your whole category, what percentage of them land on you and what percentage land on your competitors? And here's why you start here. Google AI Overviews and Gemini both build their answers from Google's normal search results. So if you're not showing up in normal Google search in the first place, you're not even in the running to be picked for the AI answer, right? So your share of search is the starting number. Everything else sits on top. And so let's say you're a property developer going up against big established players. We had a real estate client in exactly that spot, and we grew their share of search by over 1,600% in 12 months. And that took them from almost no presence in our market to being one of the names buyers see first. So that's the first thing you measure. So if you're asking where do I even start, you start by measuring what percentage of all searches in your category land on you instead of measuring one keyword ranking. And so number 2, you measure an AI visibility score. And here's what that means and why you need it. Your old rank tracker measures one keyword at a time, but when someone asks AI a question, the AI doesn't just answer that one question. Behind the scenes, it quietly breaks into a load of smaller searches and runs them all. Nearly 89% of AI questions get split up like that. So your ranking on one single keyword tells you almost nothing anymore. So instead, you measure an AI visibility score, and that just means you take a list of the real questions your buyers actually ask, and you run those questions across AI engines every single day, and you get back a percentage of how often the AI names you. So that's your new version of a rank tracker, right? And here's how you do it. You use a prompt tracking tool, and the prompt is just the question a person types into AI. Ahrefs has a prompt tracking tool called Brand Radar. Semrush has one, and Profound has one. So you load that into your list of questions. The tools check the AI engines every single day, and it gives you a score. You can go watch. I'll go up or down over time. So we had a B2B office rental client where we measured exactly this, and we grew their visibility by over 373% in 6 months. And the point is, we could watch that number go up week by week, so we always knew whether what we were doing was working. So if you're asking what replaces rank trackers, that's it. An AI visibility score across a list of real questions your buyers ask, which you might get from customer surveys, you might mine actual customer calls, and any other way that you can try to find out the types of questions customers are asking. And so number 3, you measure each AI engine on its own. And here's why. When an AI gives an answer, it points to the websites it got the information from. People call that a citation, but it just means the AI is showing its source. The websites ChatGPT points to are not the same websites Google's AI points to. They're working off different information. And here's why that happens. There's no single shared AI list of websites that they all use. ChatGPT pulls from its own set of sources. Google's AI Overviews and Gemini pull from Google's. So each pick their answers in completely different ways. So what does that mean for measuring? You measure Google's AI Overviews, then ChatGPT, then Gemini as 3 separate reports. You might be the top answer in ChatGPT and completely missing in Gemini. You never know unless you checked each one on its own, right? And so across the brands we audit, this is the normal picture. They're strong on one engine and missing on another. Almost nobody is winning on all 3, and almost nobody has even checked. So that gap is usually the easiest money in the whole audit. So if you're asking, can I just measure one engine and assume the rest? No, you measure all 3 separately. And so number 4, you measure which questions actually trigger you. And this is the one I get asked about all the time. People say in Google Ads, I used to be able to see the exact keywords people typed in and how many people typed them. Can I see the actual questions people are asking in AI in the same way? So here's how you do it. You write out a list of the real questions your buyers would ask of the AI. Things like, what's the best company for this? Or who should I use for that? Then you check which of those questions the AI answers with your name and which one it answers with a competitor's name. Instead, you can lay it out side by side. These questions name me, these questions name them, and that second list is exactly where I'm losing, right? And so this gives a really good indicator of what you should be targeting directionally, especially from mining your customers' questions. You might even do market surveys, you might even do user studies. And so you're basically just trying to figure out what kind of questions customers ask and then measure those based on real information. Right now, there's no way to be able to connect or see what people are really typing in. And so we use first-party data in order to directionally give us an indication of what our customers are asking and typing in to be able to find us. And once you've got that side-by-side list, you can see the exact buying questions where a competitor is getting named instead of you and go straight after those questions first. So if you're asking, can I see the questions people ask the AI the way I used to see keywords? No, you can't. And it's typically the most useful report that you're not going to be able to get. So we need to work around it. And so number 5, you measure sentiment. And sentiment just means whether the AI is saying good things about your brand or bad things. So here's what matters. The AI can name you in the answer, and what it actually says about you can still be bad because these AI models remember old information for a long time. They'll pull up a 5-year-old complaint from an old forum and hand it to a brand new buyer as if it's just plain fact about your company today. So just getting named by AI is only half of it. The other half you've got to watch is whether the AI is describing you in a good way or a bad way. Because a bad description sitting in the AI answer is doing you damage right now. And you only find out if it's there if you're actually measuring it. So how do you measure it? The same prompt tracking tools measure sentiment for you. They tell you not only how often AI names you, but whether it says anything about you, positive or negative. So you keep an eye on that the same way you'd keep an eye out on your online reviews, right? So if you're asking, what if the AI names me but says the wrong thing about me? That's exactly why you measure sentiment, instead of only counting how many times you get named. And so number 6, you measure the value of the clicks that AI sends you. And this is one that ties everything back to revenue. So here's the thing people get wrong. The AI doesn't send you much traffic. When someone gets their answer straight from the AI, only about 5% of them click through to your site, compared to around 40% on a normal Google result. So if you only look at the numbers of clicks, AI looks tiny and pointless. But the number of clicks is the wrong thing to look at, and here's why. The few people who do click through from an AI already have their short list of who they want to buy from. The AI has already recommended you and sold you in before they ever land on your site. So they actually trust you and they buy at a much higher rate from someone who's never heard of you, right? So how do you measure it? Well, in your website analytics, you label the visitors coming from ChatGPT, Gemini, and the rest, so you can see them as their own group. I know that Google Analytics does this for you now. And you add a simple, how did you hear about us question on your contact forms? And here's why you need that question. A lot of these buyers get recommended to you by the AI. Then go and type your name straight into Google. So without that question, you never know the AI was the reason they came to you. So you measure how much money those visitors are worth to you instead of just counting how many of them there are. We had a betting brand who did exactly this, and as their AI and search visibility grew, their revenue grew by about 368% in 6 months. So that's a small number of clicks turning into real money. So if you're thinking AI sends me almost no traffic, why should I even care? That's the exact reason, because the small amount it does send is the most valuable traffic you've got. So that's 6. Let's bring it together. So to measure whether AI is recommending your brand, number 1, you measure your share of search. That's your starting number. Number 2, track an AI visibility score against a list of real questions your buyers ask. That's your new rank tracker. Number 3, measure Google AI Overviews, ChatGPT, and Gemini separately because they barely overlap. Number 4, measure which questions actually trigger you. That's your AI version of keyword data. Number 5, measure sentiment, so whether the AI says good or bad things about you. And number 6, measure the value of the few clicks because that's your highest converting traffic. Right now, almost nobody is measuring any of this, and that's exactly why the few who do are pulling ahead. So if you want to know exactly where you're invisible right now, our AI audit team will run you through it and show you at least 7 revenue opportunities you're missing. It's free, links in the description. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.